What it do, world? Once again, we back with another late night edition of the Bamboozled Again News Network. And I'm your host, Foul Sharpton, otherwise known as the Toothless Wonder. Let me get in some light here. I'm going to take y'all on a little journey, man. I don't profess to be one of these brothers, holier than thou or a sheep without blemish, you understand? In wisdom, I try to come on here and be transparent. You know what I'm saying? Uh, I'm like Biggie Smalls. I'm in the everyday struggle like everybody else. But because of my journey, I believe I'm better suited and equipped to effectively, you know, handle, take on, address whatever life challenges throws at me, no matter what it may be. Because I'm in a position, well, I'm not in a position to not know what to do. So even if I don't know what to do, then I start brainstorming, praying to rectify the situation. You know what I'm saying? What else you gonna do? They say you either the business or you become the business. You either bang or get banged on. And at a late stage, I'm in my early 40s, and at this late stage in human history, seemingly, I ain't come all this way just to accept. Like I'm actually very understanding. While in duality, I'm very uncompromising, right? So I give you a quick monologue, and this will be more of a personal video, right? Um, how I want to kick this joint off. The level of delusion, as I repeatedly stated, the level of narcissism, gaslighting, and projection has to be at demonic levels at this point in time. Uh, and I'm at my oasis spot, as y'all can see, right? After I hop off here, I'm trying to do about 1,000 push-ups, you know what I mean? Because the individual question disturbed my spirit greatly. And that's why I really don't be fooling with a whole lot once I perceive someone's behaviors. And then that gives me credence to their mindset, belief system, so on and so forth. Because I like being harmonious. For the most part, I'm easy going down from the very first round. I ain't with all that monkey stuff, not at all. Because typically I don't respond well. And then there ends up being some consequence on my part. Now, in previous seasons, like, I wouldn't even care about the consequence. I just wanted to stop. The ends justify the means in that particular sense. But especially my spirit is very vexed when seemingly something manifests that has the potential to disrupt the progress that has been hard fought. Uh, my bad, I just got a text message. But yeah, what I was saying, yeah. So okay, let me just hop right straight into it instead of dancing. You know what I mean, around the topic, right? And this is in relation to just, and it's probably more for men. Of course, we're not gonna apply to everybody, vice versa. But it's so crazy here in the land of wickedness where it's a fight to do the right thing. It's a fight to stand on what you believe in that don't negatively affect nobody else. It's a fight to not lose yourself in this world with so many distractions, and every day we're getting bombarded with mis and disinformation, the inversion of the value system, right? So it's about my daughter mother, right? Now, first of all, let me claim full responsibility. I ain't had no business sleeping with the woman. You know what I'm saying? So that's on me. And I knew I was gonna have a hard road with this woman. And I accepted all that. But now, I'm not really in the business of accepting nothing. You know what I mean? Again, we understand that to some level degree, the society, the laws are skewed towards her, right? So in an effort to protect myself legally, socially, mentally, financially, I do what I have to do that. And I knew it was going to trigger a certain response. And here's what I believe is happening also. As we see the crumbling of society, right? I seen something said 444. I think that's a very symbolic number. 7-Elevens, which signifies good luck to me, are closing. Um, you hear people whine and complain about dating, or, you know what I mean, whoop de whoop de whoop. So we'll argue about what's happening, but never get to the root cause, just like medicine. See, we want to deal with the symptom, but not the root cause of it, right? So I got this old wild phone call, whatever the case may be. So I don't answer. You know what I mean? Cause my spidey sense told me it's gonna be stupid. I don't feel like hearing no stupid stuff, right? So then it left me a voice message and a text message. And this is where I felt my brain felt disrespected, yo. Now, in reference to my daughter mother, right? She alludes to tell me that essentially everything I got going on is because of her. And like my brain came to an abrupt, I slammed on brakes. Like Drake said, you wasn't with me, but again, the level of illusion. You only have a license because or I did something on child support. No, I paid child support. That's why I'm on child support. You only got a car because of me. So what did you have to do with me fixing my credit or establishing credit in the first place? Your name wasn't attached to nothing when I went to the bank and whoop de whoop de whoop. Like, what is you talking about? So, and then I just felt so disrespected. And shout out to the brother on here, Intuitive Anthony. If y'all, enjoy my content, you'll definitely enjoy his. And I seen a short where he said he just been diagnosed with cancer. So you can go over there if you want to like, share, subscribe, donate. Let's keep that brother in our prayers, right? Which will lose to something else. I know I'll be all over the place with this one, right? And I empathize with the brother too, right? Because he talked about on his channel, whereas though, like he lost a family member, you know what I mean, and then he's in this life changing situation, and he's been probably the most instrumental as far as helping me understand narcissism, gang stalking, to the level in which he describes it in relation to your family, how it looks, the tactics they use, and what you should do in response to it, right? So you go through this transitionary period, right? And then just like myself, you've been through so much that now you can kind of focus on you, and now you can kind of live the life you want to live or attempt to have the type of experience you want to experience, but it don't go that way. And then here comes the narcissist again when you're in this transitionary or perception of vulnerability, you know what I mean? And you effectively work through that, you know what I'm saying, with vaccine, woo woo. And then you get hit with something out of nowhere that could potentially change or possibly end your life. And then, of course, I like to believe we all have our certain thoughts. Can't be, you know what I'm saying? Like, you mean tell me I came all this way to take the drop now? So I try to be one of them brothers, and that's why I'm on here, to practice what they preach. Because it's easy to give somebody else information, and that's what used to get me mad. I see you give out great information, but I don't see you apply none of it to yourself personally. So in reference to my daughter mother, like, I'm very strategic, very forward thinking, you know what I mean? So the point we're at now, I already knew that based on seeing the behavior and understanding the mentality of the individual involved. But I'll be honest, I'm tired of fooling with it. And this is where I'm kind of vexed, because I understand that vengeance is mine, says the Lord. But I'm tempted to take matters in my own hands in the respect of turning up the heat. Now, I don't get any joy out of seeing anyone suffer or whatever, even if they, done me wrong, say, right? But at the same time, like I said in the last video, I do enjoy seeing people get what they deserve. I got what I deserve. Actually, scratch that. No, I didn't. I didn't get what I deserve. I got grace. You know what I'm saying? But there was a whole lot of discipline and correction. You know what I'm saying? Ultimately, like the Inez Andrews song, I just want them turned over to you, God. But that's the kind of space I'm in, because I'm tempted to turn the heat up. Now, the tactics that I used were completely legal to bring that person to the table. Because whenever I attempt to address a situation, if it has anything to do with any accountability on the other person's part, they'll just go ghost and say they don't want to argue. But if they want me to do something, they don't have no problem arguing all day long. You know what I'm saying? But like I said, they were talking like, and then of course, when you, how my man said on the Breathe video, when you do good, you get better. When you do bad, you get worse. I'm seeing not just her, but a lot of people that I personally know supremely regressing behaviorally and mentally and emotionally. You know what I mean? I'm like, God darn. And it does help me have more faith, even as I don't understand now to a certain degree. That's why I'm out here at my spot where I get my Goku on, you know what I mean? Because it was a long journey of self-correction, but I see the benefit in it now, which is giving me clearer eyesight to be able to see the tactics other people are doing and how I should move in response to it. I'm just trying to play good defense here, but I'm tempted to go on the offensive. I'm tempted to purposely knowing if I pull this maneuver, it's gonna purposely inflict more pain on you. Not that I get off on seeing you in pain, but maybe the pain will stop you from effing with me. And that's all I really want. Ultimately, in my heart of hearts, I would just like for everybody to be on the same page. But I know the word also says that a man's enemy shall rise from his own household. So that's why I'm down here and on this video, because I'm really tempted. And I was tempted to pull the trigger before, but I prayed. I said, nah, I ain't gonna do that. I'm gonna just take this on the chin. But as a man, you get tired of taking stuff on the chin. You get tired of giving grace. You get tired of trying to be understanding when that's not reciprocated back towards you. You know what I'm saying? You get tired of this is not reality, but these people perceive, oh, I can just treat you any kind of way when I feel like it. And then when I need you, I'll just cry and you'll come save me. No. At some point, myself included, we're all going to have to feel the consequences of our actions. Which is another thing I'm saying, where the situation this individual is in, is based on her act. Okay, so I'll just get straight into it, right? So I petitioned for sole custody, right? You know what I mean? Now my child got my last name, but as it currently stands, legally speaking, I have no rights other than to shell out money that the state got to account for and woo, right? So with me having no authority and rights, all this super duper wild monkey stuff that went on within the household. And it's the typical, you know what I'm saying, woo we all know about, the in and out, different Negroes in and out the house of low character, you know what I mean? Her oldest child, she already coming outside butt naked, you know what I mean? No planning for the future, you know what I'm saying? It's always chaotic and all that. So with no legal recourse, I attempted to, problem solve, so on and so forth. And it'll work for a minute, and then it'll change. I won't be notified of the change. Then when I hear it change, and I ask you why it changed, you start talking about some old other stuff. The lack of personal accountability. Now, she was saying how, oh, you're trying to take my child away from me. No. But I need full control and legal authority. Because right now, you have it all, and all this monkey stuff that went on, which is all stuff I told you was happening even before my child was born. Then she's saying I'm all about money. Now I'm gonna let y'all know, like in the black community here, well, at least where I grew up, I don't know how it is everywhere else, but there are a plethora. Nah, scratch that word. The percentage is astronomical of the black demographic of a certain financial bracket. You'd be surprised how many of these black women have their children on SSI for having some type of objective disability, ADHD, whatever they kind of, whatever. Because if you label the child as disabled, they get SSI for the child. So in my recourse of doing, to bring this person to the table, I went on down Social Security and told them child live with me. So they said, oh, we're going to stop the payment. I said, yep, there it is. That's all I want. I should be hearing something in a couple of days. Sure enough, I'm a whole bunch of B words and this, that, and the third. And that's when she got into the voice message about, I would never do you like this. I've never stopped you from seeing your child. Why are you doing this to me? This is tied to my rent. And that's actually the crux of the matter, because whatever she pays in rent is due to her children being disabled, or she has reduced rent because her children are disabled, quote unquote. Ain't nothing wrong with them. So you can get cheaper rent, but now you got your children labeled scholastically so they can't excel. And you ain't finna go do no work or, whatever. So that's when I got all this wrestle and all this projection. You're all about money. So I had to have a conversation with my daughter who's 13, right? I said, ain't nothing wrong with y'all. I told Social Security that, and I told her that. Once I get authority, I'm taking her off of it. This ain't about no money. But that's what it's about for you. So now you're projecting, I'm all about the money. I'm all about the money when we had a certain situation. You went back to child support and tried to make it retroactive, then triggering me getting a whole bunch of mail saying I'm non-compliant on child support for 18 months, and they were threatening to take my license, in which I had, documentation and showed them how have I been in compliance when during the time span y'all saying I never paid, I actually had to come back to y'all to get money back because I had overpaid. But somehow legally she was able to get them to backdate and all that. You know what I mean? But you say you ain't never did nothing to me. You know what I'm saying? It's so crazy. It's not even crazy. It's just the norm now. That's what's crazy about it. The level of delusion in which these individuals think they get to behave and act any kind of way, and ain't nothing supposed to come back on them. Or ain't nobody supposed to get tired of them and stop fooling with them. Or do whatever's necessary to them to protect themselves. You know what I mean? That's why I say, yo, at this point, I love myself. Don't get it twisted. I love them. But this version of sisters who have been drunken with the fornication of the wine of Babylon are completely despicable. And I advise brothers from the stores, and I know a few examples where it's not this, but they few and far between. They're not even worth dealing with. This the same woman who essentially, now I don't believe he did it, but just for the sake of argument, he actually has child pedophilia charges, right? And they would have got a 5 years. Somebody else sent it to me. But when I met up with the man, I didn't feel concerned that he was going to do something to the kids, though. It might be like that Tyler Perry movie where he ended up smashing something and come to find out they're like 17, he don't know nothing about it. The other girl parent found out and jammed him up on them type moves. But even still, you had the kid around a pedophile. And I just got to deal with that. Man, I made a CPS report that she went and texted my daughter and showed the daughter my report. So I'm talking to my daughter, right? Transparency, right? So she going through all the stuff I alleged on the transparency. My daughter's like, why did you do that? The why don't matter. Isn't everything I said in there true? Again, but if I'd have done that, if I'd have had my child around, felons, people out of state on parole, you know how like when the sisters get older, they start meeting dudes online and all that. Because they done ran through everybody where they live at. Ain't nobody taking them seriously. Like the game is coming to an end. And I think the rage out was in response to the feel of the loosening of power and control. First of all, and I explained this to her, you've had all the control up to this time and shown your inability to handle it. So you don't need no control. You don't even really want control per se. You want the finances that are tied to the child. Because when I had to pull up there a couple times because the police got called, first thing she holler out is, oh, I'm going to just go give you away to white folks. When the father's standing right there. This is how, like, dare I say, demonic. Rather than give the child to the father who they know give a damn and is implementing a plan for their future, they rather give them to the state. This is the modern correlation of sacrificing your children to Moloch. It's real on the battlefield. And this is a vengeful woman. This is a petty woman. Again, the narcissist tactic where they do you all wrong. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. But then go and to all these people who they may not know. They just know you know them to get ahead of some story that they concocted to protect the image that ain't real and don't exist about how you doing them wrong. So I'm already going through that, not that a kid. So I was telling my child that. She was like, you don't mind being a bad guy? I'm like, no, I care about the truth. See, I'm not one of these people who's trying to win public opinion. I know what's going on. God knows what's going on. I told my probation officer that one time. Now, granted, I understand. My daughter's not going to understand. But again, almost this tactic of the attempt of parental alienation, purposely causing division between the child and the father. But like I was explaining to her, my daughter, she has other siblings by other men, or other fathers rather, right? Now, the one dude who I think she was like in her early 30s when she started dealing with him. He was 16. Now, granted, me knowing all this now, I didn't have the game I got now. I hadn't been a fool with her though. But she gave me one of them stories, everybody do me wrong. I was just coming out of being a coochie broker. So there was that time I was like, nah, you already heard, I ain't gonna do all that. You know what I mean? But when I was explaining to my daughter, whereas though he don't go through none of hell I go, cause she know he don't care. It's almost, even if you do care, you almost have to let them know you don't care even though you do. Because once they perceive you care, they'll just because they can. Just to F with you because life effing with them. You know what I mean? It's real. It's not real in the battlefield. It's becoming unreal. And here's a wild situation, right? Here's a wild solution to the problem. All you got to do is humble yourself. And I can solve all your problem right now. Not financially, but tell you what to do it. Anything but that. That's no different my experience working with the sisterhood at the job. They were completely despicable. I was blown. I know it happened through YouTube, but I really don't be around people with any kind of consistency to really peer into their personal lives or whatever. Yo, heard brother talk about it on YouTube. I was blown away by just the lack of decorum. These women are damn near becoming animalistic. You know what an animal do? They have instinct to sleep, eat, and procreate. That's it. This is what, well, I'm more so sticking on the women at this point. But these women are becoming almost animalistic. If it ain't got nothing to do with leisure, splacking, and feeding themselves or, housing them, that's all they know. So now what I did, like kind of, I guess, threatened that or whatever. And I did that strategy to bring them to the table, get them to talk to me. Now, I still don't think you're going to like grasp or attempt to, even though I've been saying it for years, you're not going to want to comprehend. But I still feel the need to say it just for GP purposes. You know what I'm saying? But if you don't bite, okay. You think I'm playing? I'm going to turn it up a notch. Because, see, I can handle whatever you throw at. I've been dealing with it all my life. I know you can't. Anything that's going to attempt to or has the potential to disrupt your leisure or your dysfunction or your lack of accountability, oh, I'm coming after that. I still got to figure out what to do about them old job people. Not because of a personal vindication, but out of ethics. You know what I mean? Somebody got to stand on what's right. We're in such a crazy space. People don't even know what's right anymore. So when you tell them what's right or how it should be done, somehow you the enemy. But if the shit persists on, you'll be the scapegoat. That's what I'm blown away. Just the lack of accountability. Everything somebody do is because of somebody else. You know what I'm saying? Look, this same individual, this same woman, when I petitioned for custody, right? Because she went ghost on me in an attempt to hold on to whatever financial, whatever was tied to the child, right? Rebuke me in the name of Jesus. I said, ain't that about her? But when you was tricked, when you had, the dudes you was tricking with at the house, you didn't rebuke nobody, you didn't rebuke the name of Jesus. When the kid flipping out and Ray beat you up, you ain't invoke the name of Jesus. It's real on the battlefield. I ain't gonna lie though, I'm hot though, and I'm sitting here married. I'm gonna do some push-ups after hop off this jump. And this is my dilemma, not her. In response to this is where you have to practice in wisdom, forgiveness. Letting the Lord fight your battles. While, doing what's practical to protect yourself, I'll call it. But I am very tempted, because I want this over with. I like getting stuff over with. I'm very tempted to ratchet this up a notch, which wouldn't legally be wrong, but it would cause great pain and misfortune. And I'll be honest, and I gotta be honest. I'm honest with God, I'm honest with y'all, yo. I don't have any desire to anybody, even if they done me wrong, right? But in the motion, like in real time, part of me wants to see these people suffer. I got to be honest, yo. When I was suffering, I ain't had no support. When I was suffering by my own hand, I ain't getting no encouragement from these folk. These folk had wrote me off and left me for dead. And I felt like that my suffering caused them joy. On a couple, this is just not one isolated incident. I've been through this repeatedly with people I chose to befriend. Granted, it's because I was drinking. You know what I'm saying? And that's what I'm dealing with. And y'all can feel free to chime in the comments and give me y'all insight too. It is well welcome. You know what I'm saying? It's well welcome. You know what I mean? And really, it's based, I'll be honest, it's based in fear. Fear of, how would I word it? Or just protecting my progress. Because it's been hard fought and hard won. That's why I felt so disrespected when this individual who had nothing to do with nothing I done built took credit for it. I was hot. How dare you part your lips and say that you ain't even did it? That's the crazy part. The things that you're saying you're responsible for in reference to me, you haven't done, but you claim responsibility and credit for the work I put in that you ain't did. That's why it's hard. Now, out of respect for my daughter, because my daughter asked me, so I said, for you, I'm willing to do this. We're going to have a sit down, right? Now this sit down, because I ain't real big on talking, unless the talking leads to the implementation of a solution. But if I start perceiving that it's just going back to how it's always been, ain't no more talking. And I'm running the next phase of the operation, unless the Most High put it in my heart not to do that. But before I do it, I was ready to do it one other time. But I said, before I do this, let me fast, let me pray. And then I actually listened to a couple YouTube videos that just popped up that was talking in reference to the same thing I was going through. And I threw my hands. I said, all right, you know what I mean? I ain't perfect. I'm for real. I'm just trying to do right out here. You know what I'm saying? I'm not no vengeful person. I don't harbor no grudges. I'm willing to let bygone be bygone. Move forward. You know what I mean? But the fear is you attempting to disrupt the progress that I've made. That's where I got a personal issue with it. Not just with that, but in reference to, the people I talked about on here, like my man DC Mo, when he started just calling me every time I was doing something, or the girl who I thought had renounced the practices of witchcraft, and then she relapsed out of nowhere. They started becoming a hindrance. I would address the situation and set a personal boundary, and they still violated. So I cut them off. And don't feel no type way about it. But for whatever, I don't know what it is about the kid. And I think it's the inversion. Because I'm very humble, because life has been humbling, you understand? But I do find it interesting how people perceive me. And I've had people allude to, like, people being scared of me, or I'm like, what? Like, what? But it's not like they're afraid I'm going to do something to them, or I'm going to backdoor or do all that, whatever they do in the streets now. It's really the strength that has been honed in affliction. And I didn't do no other type of crap. You know what I'm saying? That's coming off of my aura, or anybody's aura for that matter, it can be, I guess, it can make people feel uncomfortable. You know what I mean? So again, in the inversion of it, they'll try to make you seem weak, or they'll try to attempt to plant seeds of doubt when they know you're sure of yourself. They'll allude to some weakness on your part when they know you're really strong. I would just love to just meet genuine folk at this point, yo. Without all the ego and the bravado and the, here's another way this thing is inverted, right? Where you have morally and behaviorally despicable people telling you they're valuable. To who? Since when? I'm just doing this for the strength of my daughter. But I really don't want to talk. I'm like the United States State Department. I don't negotiate with terrorists. It's either, and it might sound toxic and all that, which is crazy when you think about it, that regular shit is toxic now. It's either my way. If I'm going to be a part, it got to be my way. Because if this woman has any say-so in it, when she has all the say-so now, we're dealing with all the stuff that I already knew was going to happen and couldn't stop it because I had no legal recourse. You know what I mean? The sexualization of the kid. I just seen a video from the Crimson Cure, and I think they had a homecoming at Southern University, and the sisters was out there with the derrieres out and all that, which ties into the video I made. I don't know how long ago it was, when the high school kids here in the town that I grew up, where I live at now, they went to social media and organized a Freaknik, in which and there was a few white folks that got chimed into it, but every young black sister in town was literally outside, damn near butt naked. It was utterly despicable. You know what I'm saying? But you can't tell them nothing. But when ain't no men around, this is what happens. And you can show them what happened, but they're like, we don't care. Just let us do whatever. And then when the consequence comes, you come save us. And then for it to go back the way it is. And then when we turn out terrible, let's blame you, even though you have no say-so, quote unquote, in the situation. Man, I told my daughter this, because I talked to her like she grown, you know what I'm saying, as far as giving her the game in this world she living in. I am praying for this place to fall and the destruction of the illusionary social constructs that don't benefit us none. The same, my daughter, her oldest daughter's now, she just turned 17, right? And I literally seen her outside with a hoochie outfit on. And I said, yo. So I'm like, yo, what's up with that? Among other things we was talking about. She justified and said, well, she had shorts on underneath. That ain't what I'm talking about. See, there you go again, justifying that which is unjustifiable because she had shorts on underneath. Hold on, I think my thing went up. Hold on, y'all. But she had shorts on underneath. Totally oblivious to the fact, like, you got your underage child who's still in high school looking like she for sale. And you justify why it's okay. I told my daughter, and I had to explain this to her, I don't think she grasped it. I said, I think she's setting y'all up for failure. For the generational curse of single motherhood, Section 8, food stamps, child support. My daughter couldn't, like, how is she setting us up for failure? How? Then she was saying how, well, if she does this, you know, her older sister get the splacking. If she gonna do it anyway. Right. But like, oh, you ain't gonna do it up in here. All the stuff I'm talking about has gone on under her watch with her full authority. And then her boyfriend take your bike. Granted, I understand she's kind of caught in the middle, which I'm trying not to do. But then we kind of hear now, because any grown folk conversation me and the daughter mother had, she just go tell my 13-year-old child. Again, to paint some picture as she's this wronged individual. I came up with a time where kids stay in a child place. You can barely handle being a little kid, let alone all this grown folk stuff that grown folk can't handle. Yo, it's ill out here. Y'all despise. I'll be honest, yo. I'm just keeping it real. I despise that woman, man. Despise that woman, man. But again, I had no business fooling with her. And I knew it, but my proclivity, like all the stuff I knew then, I know now. Or vice versa. But my proclivities, the drinking, the smoking, the playing in the streets, influenced my decision making to keep doing something that I ain't had no business doing. And I'm reaping the consequences. And justifiably so. And I understand all that. And I take full accountability and responsibility for that. But it ain't finna keep happening though. No sir, no way, no how. Because that's stopping not just the progress I'm making, but the progress I'm attempting to make for all parties involved. Because trust and believe, when what we all know happens, the same person they saying the bad guy or this, that, and the third, be the same person they run into asking, what should we do? But now I'm under the belief you have no track record of being of assistance to a man. You know what I'm saying? So I really don't even want you. Now I had to be led at that time, but you have no training on working together. That's why it's hard for me, because we're not used to it and we haven't done it, so we don't know how to do it. So we'll purposely undermine it, even if it's beneficial to us, just because you're the one facilitating it. Now, if somebody else they don't know or some celebrity said it, they buy it. But because it's you, nah. You know what I'm saying? And here's another thing I noticed they do, right? Instead of talking about the task at hand, they'll talk about what you used to do. You know what I'm saying? What I'm talking about has gone on in the past and in the present. And here's where it's going to take us in the future. What you're saying I did in the past, for the most part, is true. That's why I don't do it no more and haven't done it in a significant amount of time. Now what? Then you start talking about some old other stuff that ain't true, or, you know what I mean? Like, I was super duper, and I'm just ranting, man. Thank y'all, man. I was hot in my spirit, cuz. The fact that you took credit for the work, like, I wouldn't be who I am if it wasn't for you and you wasn't around. That's why I come down. I'm ready to do about, I'm gonna do about 1,200 push-ups, man. I gotta work this off my spirit. I gotta get back harmonious, yo. Like, I started just to lay down for a night, but I pray. I said, nah, let me work this off me. And this actually takes me back to fundamentals. Because I've been going through that, like getting back to fundamentals, practicing acceptance, living in the present moment. Like one of my cool cat daddy used to say, if you don't know what to do, don't do nothing. Find your lane, get in your lane, stay in your lane. You know what I mean? But here's what's happening, stuff swerving in my lane. I'm about to get on about the lane so I can coast freely through this life, avenue of life. But this is, and I felt like this, like, once I got around people, I felt like Master Sensei, not in pride or ego, but I seen what the Most High was doing all the years he held me back, seemingly folded time up, and now societally I'm on par with everybody, but mentally and spiritually, I'm vastly beyond because of my experiences and what I learned and what was honed and forged in the experiences. You understand me? But then, okay, like I said, you go from, last, what's that, 8th grade, you last thing in middle school, 9th grade, a whole new ball game. So now you got to relearn some stuff. Now you take, the foundation of what you learned in 8th grade, but now I'm back learning all over again. You know what I'm saying? I'm learning new truths or greater truths, greater levels of faith, greater levels of submission. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause like I said, I'm tempted to go for the gusto on this one. And I'm not gonna make no move until the Most High lead me in a certain way. You know what I mean? He didn't protect me all this time, but it's the temptation to rectify something under my own power that would cause other people pain. And I'll be honest, I don't care. But it's not about what I want. I'm trying to do what the Most High would have me do, even if it seems like it could be potentially dangerous. That's the test. Because let's be honest, the progress I've made was by his hand. You understand me? Like I told you on here, I'm the most certified non-using certification having dude you probably know. Utilities, solar, pre-construction, CNC machine operator. You know what I'm saying? Ain't used none of it. The path to whatever I got going on now didn't come by my plan. I just planned to do it. It came through another vehicle, an avenue that the Most High was leading me to, and I didn't know it. That's why now, like especially this week and prior weeks, I've been falling back from trying to hammer home my will. And in the relinquishing of my will, everything done worked out. You know what I'm saying? So I'm going through in total, the whole gambit here of, my mental, my thought process, and I can't be the only one. You know what I'm saying? But ultimately, even in the midst of emotion, I still got to make the right choice. And the right choice is seeking the Most High and how he would have me to handle the situation. Just like Brother Newbury was on the jump. And, Ringo he keep poking. And as a man, okay, you get off your center, you want to address it. You want to deal with like, man, you know what, I forget you, yo. And the man still talking. I'm done with it, yo. And that's hard. And you have to understand, we're held to a higher standard. How would I truly, okay, let's say, and like Intuitive Animal say, you can't put yourself in the mind of the Most High. You can't tell what he's doing, right? But I perceive this, right? Okay, I'm going to use you for something great, right? But just like in the army, you got to be able to follow order, even if you don't understand it. So here's this situation that has the potential in your mind to put in risk jeopardy what you think you've built, which is really me the whole time, right? So are you going to trust me? Or are you going to take your actions into your own hand? Here's the opportunity carnally to get what you want. That's actually mine, vengeance. Just like when David was on the run from Saul, right? On, I believe, 2 occasions, he could have took him out and passed on it. I already know, well, he already knew he was supposed to be king. He just don't know the circumstances going to lead to it happening. He's faced with a situation where to anybody else, he would seem justified in making this move. The man trying to kill him. And the man's trying to kill him because of what he did. Well, he did in the name of the Lord, but what he did on behalf of him as the king. And then you get judged, and now you trying to kill me. Now I'm running around, running and hiding. You know what I'm saying? And got to drop on you twice and don't move on you. And got to run around and don't know when it's going to be over with. I might just answer my own question. On that note, man, I love y'all, man. I'm all right. Thanks for hearing me out. You know what I'm talking about? I keeps it real in the battlefield when it's unreal and such. And like I said, let's endure a little longer. A lot of times I notice when I be making these video titles or whatever subject matter I cover, it ends up applying to me. I think I'm actually talking, I make upload YouTube video. I'm actually talking to myself. Man, I love y'all. Let's stay up out here. Let's endure a little longer, man. Let's stay prayed up and seek the will of the Most High. Ooh.